I'm pretty sure I haven't been to this last one up here. Upcoming. Get the map. God damn it. Okay, hold on a sec. Let's go ahead and check the mailbox real quick. Just in case. You never know. I know the last one didn't have anything, but it's been an hour, or maybe even 2. Yeah, okay. Didn't think so. Okay. So there's another house of some sort. It might be the doctor's cabin. Right here. Upcoming. Alright. Now let's see what's in here. A lot of weird looking trees over there. We got a doghouse. Another bottle.
It was a classic Canadian house, except for the absent horde of kids that would normally be swarming about.
Is this guy a trooper? So the hat kind of gives that away, you know? Or implies that, I suppose. Alright, we got a note. Alright, the fantasy, page 1. Matthew? Probably Matthew. No, actually, it probably is something like Mathau because, like, you know, I've gotten everything else wrong, so fuck it. We're just gonna say Matthew until I'm told otherwise. Matthew had yet to add murderer to his curriculum. He was fond of new experiences, especially the most thrilling ones, and taking the life of a flesh and bone individual who the night before was still able to think, dream, fantasize, calculate, read, held the promise of exhilarating sensations until Raskolnikov, I guess, it wasn't about axing an old Jewish hag to pieces to test some lunatic theory. Also, it's unlike, I'm fucking everything up, it's unlike Raskolnikov. Not at all. Matthew just wanted to know how it felt. It seemed so simple, horribly simple. He didn't have any particular victim in mind. Like most people, his desires ran quite wildly. So he only had a vague idea of them in mind. He pondered using a rifle or knife, assassinating a young girl or an old man. He tried to focus on practicability? I mean, I guess practicality. His victim would have to be defenseless. Bodybuilding wasn't exactly Matthew's strong suit. He would have to act spontaneously, but not too much. He wasn't that eager to learn what spending the rest of his life in prison would be like. Some experiences carry just too high of a cost to be worth it, really. So this guy has like an addiction to murder, and I'm guessing this is like a story or something. Just from like the fact it's like the fantasy page 1 and all that. Nothing in there. Oh, wait, no, there's a thing. Matches? Yep. Okay. Nothing. What's up here? Cookie jars are always too high to reach. So that imply I need like a ladder or something? Or like a step ladder? Maybe? I don't know. That's very odd. There was like a little star thing out that way, so we'll take a look at that. I don't think I've seen that yet. So we'll go over there after we check out the rest of this house. Alright.
The photograph was snapped not too far from here, Carl noticed. The couple seemed to be very good friends. The couple radiated something akin to lightheartedness, to freedom. Perhaps some people out there truly found a way to live happily ever after. A picture of Wilfred in his youth. Carl figured right away that the man must have been some kind of wildlife officer.
Okay. He is an officer, just not like a police officer. Alright, more pills. I'm not using any of this stuff really, though, is the thing. I just haven't felt like I've needed to up to this point. Cigarettes. Kôna, excuse me.
All manners of clothing were gone, as if the Droits drove out of town with their closet in tow.
Right. Fantasy page 2. It was around that time that Matthew met Beatrice, of mediocre beauty at best, the girl with her distinctive features, cheeks covered with large pox-like freckles, Junos, oily forehead, tired but vibrant eyes, shaded red hair, slender as a child body, chirpy laugh, you name it, was the very image of innocence. That happened to be precisely the kind of victim Matthew was picturing in his mind, though. One night, as he was contemplating the ceiling from his bed, he swore to himself again and again, "I'll kill her." His dreams were later filled with images of the imminent crime. He had come up with a simple enough plan. One fine evening, he would visit her place to become familiar with the area's intricacies and feel closer to the impending murder, to solely dig into Beatrice's thoughts, desires, dreams, and abilities. This way, he would be able to get a concrete sense of what his sinister deed would be stripping away from the very fabric of life. The whole thing would take 2 days, a week at most. Alright. Is there more in here? At least one more page. It looks like 2. Got a lamp. What's in here? Bullets. Huh. Interesting. Alright, I'm gonna drink real quick. Oh, it's talking. The fantasy, page 3. The first time he met Beatrice, however, she unexpectedly revealed her troubled origins to Matthew. She was adopted at the age of 4, and recalling her former life still gave her a hard time. She played the piano in so graceful a manner that people often thought she may be the natural offspring of a musical virtuoso. She always cried before falling asleep, torn from the inside by dreadful pain. She couldn't explain. She confided to him so profoundly that Matthew couldn't get enough, coming back every night to learn every single thing of what would come out of that delicate mouth after pulling one last breath out of it. Every night I was thinking this was going to turn into him, like, I don't know, feeling some sort of level of empathy. It doesn't look like it. Actually, it's making him want to kill her more, it seems. Every night he reflected on what the death of Beatrice would mean in terms of losses to humanity's common heritage, be it the sound of her sobbing or of her piano melodies, the compulsive tapping of her long index finger on her temple as she harbored dark thoughts, or any other little thing. It didn't matter. Everything would indiscriminately vanish. Everything. All these thoughts made for some blissful slumbers indeed. Then days became weeks, and before he knew it, it was Matthew's turn to throw his secrets at her. His hopes, his cries of despair, as if throwing coins in a wishing well. She'll be dead by the end of the month, he promised himself. I don't know, I just feel like this will eventually turn into him not wanting to kill her. I don't know why.
A murderer's diary. Carl's detective training compelled him to write some excerpts down.
All right.
What sort of monster could give life to such a bizarre tale?
The two lovebirds were still going at it 7 months later, though. Confiding fears and desires alike near the fireplace several days a week. The populace took notice, and wounding words eventually found their way to Matthew's ear, prompting him to take action to prove his gentlemanship. He had to ask Beatrice's hand in marriage. He would have more than enough time to kill her later. Today, when Matthew stares at the motionless ceiling, just like he did 20 years ago, he still wonders what he would be removing from existence by slitting Beatrice's throat, what he would be depriving his children of. Then, as if soothed by his fantasy, he gently drifts off, smiling the night away. Okay, that's really fucking disturbing.
Not a single rifle left. That had to be a bad sign, Carl surmised.
Yeah.
Not a single
rifle left. There's 2 of them, so I figured
that
maybe
had to be a bad sign,
some differentiation. Okay. I'm just thinking, like, is this couple, like, is this sort of like this fantasy thing, just sort of this dude writing out the reality of what his situation was, you know? And if he still contemplates killing her. A very disturbing notion. Oh, okay, there's another little building over here. Did not see that before. And also another axe, it looks like. I don't really need that one, though, since I already have one. Does it already have wood? No, it does not. Okay, I was thinking maybe I could just take the wood. Cool. Let's close this, just so I don't have to be too cold. Another flare. Oh, a magnet! Perfect! A couple different places that need something like that. More matches? Come on. Come on! There we go. Okay, so we have a magnet, and just out of sheer curiosity, we're gonna go back to one of the places that need that. Just because I want to know what the fuck it does. And here's one. Okay, so what does this do? Okay. What did that do? I have a wired magnet now. Cool. What could that help me with? Like, I'm like racking my brain trying to think what exactly that could do for me. I have no fucking idea. Alright, there's not really very much else I can think of doing, so we're, if you guys remember, there was that split in the road, so we're going down the left side now, which I'm pretty sure is the last of really anything we can do. I don't think we can go any further up that way. So, there's potentially 4 buildings, I'm not exactly sure. Like, maybe I can't do all of them. I don't know for certain. Alright, so... Yeah. Okay, so you see that's, like, blocked off right there. Which means that this is the last place. I'm guessing this is Dr. Crees then. Okay, let's get out. So this should be where the shed is. I think. If this is the guy that girl was referring to in her note. Alright, there's a key. What's this? I don't know. Doesn't let me really tell.
There should be a law forbidding doctors from falling sick.
Medical emergency in town. The doctor there is sick. I'll be back soon. If he dies, I won't be returning. I'll have to replace him. Uh-oh. Firewood. Fuck it. Just go in.
In spite of Dr. Beaupre's goodwill, the place didn't look much like a physician's office. It could easily be mistaken for a sewing shop.
Excuse me. Nah, there's nothing else, right? So, might as well.
Only a great misfortune could have pushed a man like Dr. Beaupre to isolate himself from the world, far up north and buried in snow.
The only real issue I'm having with this game so far, like a real tangible issue, not tangible, but the real issue I'm having with this game so far is understanding exactly what I'm trying to do, you know? Like, I'm finding a lot of places, but I'm not really finding any objectives, aside from the first one where those two people who are encapsulated in ice. And obviously, once again, this is a beta sort of preview build, so this isn't like the full game. So there's definitely a lot of extra stuff they're building on, and I'm seeing something that's really interesting here. I just don't know where it's going. And also, there's an outhouse out there. I was thinking that might have been the shed that was being referred to before. Various cheap wines. I'm really kicking myself for not getting that interview with the developers of Kôna, because they were at PAX South. I mentioned that a couple hours ago, actually.
A chamber pot. Fortunately for Carl, inspecting it wouldn't further this particular investigation. Dr. Beaupre had done his medical studies quite far from here. He was surely one of the first students out of the new campus to settle on the mountainside. It couldn't get any more makeshift than this, Carl thought, astonished. Everything was improvised, including the examining table. Who could really lie on this and expect a happy ending? Doctors used light-reflecting frontal mirrors to look inside the patient's cavities. That was a bit unsettling. But back then, it was pretty much always the case with medicine.
What's in here? Quick blade, James Boy, I don't remember. Affliction unknown, high fever followed by intense hypothermia crises, temper tantrums and violent outbursts suggest nerve damage. Affliction is attacking the brain. No sign of weakness among the symptoms. Patient is a force of nature, tightened skin and retinal pigmentation. Liver problem to be confirmed. He refused treatment and went back to the village with his sister. His odds couldn't be slimmer. Alright. Shit, I'm trying to... Alright. Sorry. Okay. Next. Rosaire Amand. No medical explanation whatsoever can explain why old Rosaire is still alive. As we in the trade say, the only way to cure him is to kill him. Sylvie Bedard. All of her symptoms point to the same root cause. She's pregnant. She refuses it. She denies it. I'm willing to bet her husband is not the father. I believe this is... Yeah, the Bedard... Yeah, okay. So this is the mother who eventually had the daughter and all that. Let's just hope it's not Everett Lockhart, though, or she would have an illegitimate child and a syphilis on her hands. A syphilis. Alright, I've never heard of it that referred to that way.
Hell with patient confidentiality. Carl wouldn't be able to track down his client without unveiling secrets. Now he knew where to find Hamilton.
William Joseph Hamilton, haughty, can't be cured. Basically that means like arrogant and stuff like that. Chronic foot pain, can't walk long distances. Rich, I'll cure him of that one day. How do we know where he is now, though? How does that reveal anything? He can't walk long distances? I have no fucking clue. I don't know how that reveals anything, I'm sorry.
Carl got the trembles as he imagined the excruciating pain that kind of scalpel could no doubt inflict. Within these miserable walls, patients probably felt more like in a slaughterhouse than in a doctor's office. For the one-eyed, or for other vision problems, the eye patch was the way to go.
Alright, so there's not really anything else in here, it seems like, but there might be something around the back. I want to at least check. Alright, so there's an outhouse. Come on. I figured the light would do something. Alright, there's a bottle with nothing inside here. Okay, I'm thinking we're getting up close to the end here. Oh, there's more things. There's a car. Okay. And the power line's kind of fucked up, it looks like. Interesting. What? More Polaroids. Awesome.
The track was fresh. That meant the car sunk down just a little while ago. Now where the hell could the passengers possibly have gone?
I don't know.
The track was fresh. That meant the car sunk down just a little while ago. Now where the hell could the passengers possibly have gone?
Alright, so I'm guessing this is where we're trying to find Hamilton. Also, yeah.
Road turned into nothingness. Carl hated dead ends.
A landslide, the truck can't go any further.
It seemed like the lake managed to completely swallow the road.
Alright. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and get one of the power line too. There we are. Yeah. Okay. Not the best photo, but it's fine. What is this?
Carl could quite possibly stumble upon this in the course of his investigation. He opted to hold on to this storybook, just in case he gets an occasion to showcase his manners.
We are familiar with the Roys to some extent. I don't remember what house that name belongs to, but I remember we have heard that at least from this narrator at least once. And Jesus Christ, it's been 2.5 hours since I started recording. My God, I did not think it was going to be this long. Now, I'm not saying that in a bad way, but more of this.
Carl knew why he was suddenly shivering.
Jesus.
He was going back to the realm of visions.
Okay.
Carl had no issue recognizing the spirit-like figures, but he couldn't figure out what they wanted from him. The phantom, freed of reality's shackles, vanished in the forest. Earlier, Carl had witnessed a tragedy that befell it. Another phantom disappeared in the wilderness. Carl had seen what happened to it too.
So we got these two other ones. So what? Is there more? What do I do exactly?
Carl sensed that the cold was beating a retreat, as if he was moving away from some kind of center of gravity.
Okay, yeah, alright, fair enough. I just read my email again. So yeah, the press build only actually features the first 2 spirits of the game, so I guess to avoid spoilers or something like that. So we cannot actually find the other 2 until the entire game releases, I suppose, which is supposed to release sometime later this this year, not too far in the distant future. I don't remember if it was the second quarter or the first. But basically, in the next few months, at maximum, I believe, is when this is supposed to have its official release date. So, I guess look forward to me finishing the playthrough of this whenever that does happen. So, is there anything?
Someone must have dropped this in a hurry, but whoever did was heading into the woods. Carl's tracking instincts were quickly kicking in.
Okay, that was a little bit out of order, but whatever. Anyway. That's really all there is to this press build, which is 2.5 fucking hours. I'm really contemplating whether or not I'm gonna release this in one video or several. I don't know how I'm gonna do that. I'll probably release it in several parts. It'll probably just be part of a Kôna playlist that will eventually get finished. I'm not exactly certain. But yeah, so that's really all there is to the game, at least for now. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And if you did, please be sure to like and subscribe and all that. And I will see you guys next time. This is a little dangerous what I'm doing. Alright, so there's one just up here. I don't know what house this might be. Okay. Thanks for the guidance. Really fucking helpful there.